Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome back to Invictus Racing League's F2 division. It's time for round 11 of the season, and we are heading to Imola for this fantastic circuit. And my name is Webbo, here as usual to take you through the race. But I'm not joined tonight by Lightning, who has somewhere else to be. But tonight we do welcome a special guest co-commentator for his first time in the booth. But he's the Invictus Racing League F1 driver legend. It's Burmeister.
Well, thank you, mate. Thank you for this introduction. I'm looking forward to my first one.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to hearing how you view the F2 division and everything that's going on. We have got a wet qualifying, and I'm assuming a dry race to come. And as things stand in the championship, with 6 wins and 3 DNFs and 1 DNS, it's Ivan Belov. He is win or bust this season on 90 points. Just behind him, though, Ginger Tiger on 89, with a far more consistent string of results and only 1 DNF to his name. We have Cool 132, the Swiss driver in the Alfa Romeo, on 77. Smoke on 72. Smoke's got 2 wins to his name, and with just 1 win in the first round of the season, Nitrogash is 5th. Then it comes Office Red. Tadelli, Mr. Steen, Rusman and Simon Palmer. Joe Hamster in 11th. And then in the Constructors' Championship, Alfa Romeo lead the way with 130 points to Aston Martin's 108. 2 Alpha Tauri's 105. McLaren and Ferrari are in 4th and 5th. We've got drivers heading out on the track already, Burmeister. Because it's wet.
On board.
It's a wet race, so I guess from a driver's perspective, you want to be out there the whole time, right?
Yeah, I think you just need to load up like 5 laps fuel or something and get some feeling of the track. And then afterwards, maybe you go in, check what the conditions are, and go once again with low fuel. Yeah.
Yesterday we saw rain just at the end of the session, but I'm assuming that wasn't really affecting the grip at that point.
Yeah, I was out in the last minute of qualifying, and then it definitely affected in the end. Not in the beginning of the lap, but halfway through the lap it did affect the grip.
Wow, okay. So where on the circuit is it worst for wet conditions, do you think? Where are you struggling for grip most?
I think to the slow speed sections on the track. That's most difficult, and also braking for the Aqua Minerali is also very tricky to not lose the rear there.
Yeah. So we are about to head on to a hot lap here with Rusman in the McLaren. And I think, Burr, you're ready to give us a little onboard guide as we go through this first flying lap.
I am, mate. Just coming on to the first turns. I have to keep it on track here, quite difficult with the wet conditions. This is all full throttle. Just a little brake here. Watch out for the track limits on the outside, he just keeps his right wheel in. This is Tosa, also a very difficult corner. Full throttle up to the hill. A little brake for this left-hander, and now we're getting a very difficult braking section for the Aqua Minerali. Very easy to lose the rear in here. He brakes very early. He still goes wide, and I think this lap is invalidated. I told you it was tricky. Now we're getting the Variante Alta left. Oh,
just
he loses it again. I think he's just mad that this lap is invalidated. But as we said, he did the right thing. He loaded up some fuel and can go for another try after getting the last corner here to the Rivazza and back onto the straight.
Let's see, it looks like he did manage to keep that one valid. 126.945 in the wet conditions. Little tip for you, Burr, if you put the track map on, you'll see the whole track will go red on the drivers if they have definitely invalidated. But you would definitely be forgiven for thinking that they hadn't. Keza and Simon Palmer in the in the Mercedes go second and third, and Joe Hamster straight on the pace, a 1:24.396. I'll come back to Simon Palmer shortly as the first drivers are finishing up. We've got Ginger Tiger heading down towards Ravazza now, still valid on his lap as well, and getting through the final part. Difficult acceleration zone out of Ravazza 2, using the very tight line, and Ginger Tiger manages third place. Now he needs to stem the loss of points against Ivan Belov, but Ivan Belov already half a second faster than Joe Hamster. In the AlphaTauri, it's a 1:23.877. We've got Ben Roberts trying to get through Aqua Minerale, and you definitely see a lot of understeer through both Villeneuve Part 2 and Aqua Minerale Part 2, Burr.
Yeah, I'm still watching Ivan Belov because I'm thinking he's slowing down, but he's still going for another one.
So the camber on, I think it's the camber on these corners, often tips the cars to the outside. We see a little lock up on the inside left front on Ben Roberts as he slows for Ravazza. Goes to the line, and it's the fastest time. A 23.443 is a lot quicker than Ivan Belov's first time. I think Ben Roberts will be pretty pleased with that one.
Ivan Belov coming out of the last corners now, so let's see what he can do. I think he's going underneath it. Here he comes.
Wow. Puts a whole second on his earlier time, and that's a 23.3. Ivan Belov. The rain still falls here in qualifying, and we're waiting to see what everyone can manage to do on this first or second attempt.
Yeah, it's just getting the feeling in the first lap isn't that important. It's just getting the feeling with the car. How far can you go with it? What can you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So Smoke trying to get through Piratella nicely. It's a fairly high downforce turn, so it shouldn't be too difficult. It's these slow ones, as Burr was saying, the Aqua Minerale, the Ravazza, the Tozer even, to manage to get the rotation and the traction out of those corners. It's okay when the inters are brand new, but during the race, if this was going to be a wet race, Burr, that's where it gets really hard.
Yeah, well, I quite like wet races because, then it really gets racing for everyone, and it's slippery, and you have to watch out. I quite like rain races. Awesome.
Welcome if you're just joining us to the race tonight. This is Webbo and Burmeister in the comms box. This is F2. We have got the first runs out there already in qualifying, a wet qualifying session in Imola. And if you want to hear the championship standings, just go ahead and rewind the stream. Luke Bailey saying he can't hear you very well, so maybe move about halfway between where you were before and where you are now. And Abby joins us to say, is that Burmeister she hears on commentary? So a great time for you to say hi to Abby.
Hey Abby and hey Luke, great to have you in here tonight.
Now Abby joins, and I'm very surprised because I don't think I've seen her in F2 before. So Abby, who's your pick tonight, especially given that Kuipers isn't here? So Abby, who's your pick tonight? Or are you going to stay neutral and pick a driver at the end that's impressed you most? Ivan Belov is going slowly at the moment. Ginger Tiger not so. He's going through Tozer now and looking to try and build his speed as we go through to the next attempt. Ginger Tiger
Ben Roberts in front of him.
Is he about to set a time? Yeah, coming out of Ravazza, as you say. Just holding on. That was tight on the exit of Ravazza and going for the line then, and it will be... Oh, it's a slower time. It didn't work out for him, but Ginger Tiger has a purple middle. There. Yeah, Ginger Tiger with a purple middle sector, looking a little bit cautious coming out of Variante Alta, but with a nice middle sector. Might have some time in hand. It's very, very slow through Ravazza, but as we saw with Ben Roberts, that looks quick as Keza has crashed out of the session, I believe. Keza out in the Tamburello corner. Ginger Tiger goes faster, but not fast enough to improve. And Abby Roberts tells us that she's here tonight for Simon Palmer. Simon Palmer last week let me into a little secret about his race setup, and he's done the same tonight. I'm not going to spoil anything, but he's definitely, he says he's going to favour race setup, giving away 3/10 in qualifying, he thinks, with his race setup, but it should pay dividends later. It didn't quite work out for him last week in the race, but he stuck to the same strategy for realistic performance and won it. So I think he's nearing some excellent form just as we finish off the season in this game.
I think Simon Palmer is a legend anyways, mate. I know he's a very busy father, and then sometimes he can get results like this. It's just, he can't just put hours and hours in the game, mate. It's just go and do it.
And he's caught COVID twice during this season alone, so he's not had the best of luck, but coming into some form. Joe Hamster improves to a 1:23.963, but he really needs to be on a par or beating Ivan Belov. He's only 1 point behind in the championship, but Alers goes a little spin going through Tamburello, and the less said about the wall he's heading towards, the better, but he avoids it this time, and Joe Hamster then lives to fight another day. Rusman goes wide on the way out of Aqua Minerale, and
people start coming in now for the pit stops for new tyres.
Is it getting? Do you think the conditions are getting worse out there? But from the start of the session, it's looking like it's raining more.
Yeah, it looks to me as well, but you never know that. Sometimes the game shows more rain and it is just the same level, but we'll see what they can do with the times. They're still improving it.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you on PS5 or PS4?
I'm on PS5.
Okay, so you will get better rendering of the weather than I do, so that's usually good, because I don't even see any spray usually on the spectator view. Rusman improves up to P5 at 23.836, so a nice lap from him. Let's have a look at Simon Palmer, given that he's got the fan club with him tonight. He's just approaching Ravazza for his next attempt. 6.5 minutes to go before the checkered flag in this session.
He has a new set of tyres, Simon.
Excellent. But into the pits he comes, so he doesn't like the feel of those tyres on that setup at the moment. Cool 132 then, let's track him, because he's brought Alfa Romeo along with Office Red, the most consistent runners as a team this year, up to the head of the Constructors' Championship. So just about staying valid through the exit of Villeneuve and towards Tosa. I think it's looking harder to drive around there at the moment, but I will cede to your expertise. You can ride with the drivers and see what you think.
Yeah, it looks to me like it's worse, mate. But like a couple of minutes ago, they set the 1:22 time, so it's difficult to stay still.
Yeah, well, we'll stick with it. I'm sure the drivers will stick with it too. Cool 132 goes almost half a second faster, but he is currently P10, so he needs that kind of time improvement. A 1:22.6 is the current benchmark. Of course, in the wet weather, you can't really make a lot of comparisons.
We have Ivan Belov coming out now on a fresh set. Maybe we can watch him and really see if the track is
yeah. Let's do that as he just enters the third sector on his outlap. I'll just track with Cool 132, a half-second improvement, but only good enough to get up to P9 and beat Simon Palmer. So the points are not going to be adding up too much for our current Constructors' Championship leaders, Alfa Romeo at the moment.
Was it a wet race as well?
Whenabouts? Last week?
No.
No, I think we're expecting dry conditions. So we'll ride with Ivan Belov, and you can say what you think his cornering performance looks like. Wow, brave over the first sausage curb there.
Yeah, but losing time there. He's quitting already, I think, mate.
Awesome. So Abby asks if you're always doing commentary now. I don't think you're ready to hang up the helmet yet, are you, Bear?
Well, it feels quite nice because I have an old chair for my grandpa, which is quite nice to sit in.
So Burmeister in the grandpa chair. Awesome.
Yes.
That's what we like. Jordan and PB40, welcome to you guys. I know I haven't said anything much, and to Luke Bailey as well, but they're already ragging on their friend Joe Hamster, taking bets as to when Joe will crash tonight in the race. I'm sure, like with friends like that, who needs enemies? But certainly Ivan Beloff much slower at this stage. Who else is actually on a lap? Simon Palmer right now is going to try and improve. He's probably got the most ability to improve, being in P11 and last at the moment.
He needs to.
Yeah. So
I think he got damaged or something, because why should you pit if you just have new tires?
Yeah.
Lost him.
That's a good,
he's
a good catch.
Good now.
He's 3/10 up so far. He's got just 1/10 he needs to move up to P10 on the grid. Of course, good. P11 has no advantage for you this time, because with the wet qualifying you'll get no free choice. Everyone gets free choice of tyres.
Yeah, but I think it's difficult to say with the safety cars in F2. But if there are no safety cars, I think it's still quicker to start on the softs.
Do you?
Yeah.
So it's unusual. Usually it's a better race time to start on the mediums. But talk me through that. What's the reason it's better on the softs to start with?
Because you can get the big undercut then after the first stint.
Awesome. Okay. Simon Palmer heading for the line then. Can he get himself off 11th place? He gets to P8, 24.4. I don't know. That looks like a pretty good lap on the grip levels.
I think it is, because everyone's close there. It's 23 high or 24, so yeah. He's pushing another one, I think.
Well, I'm going to keep an eye on Rusman as he crosses his second sector. He's slower. Ben Roberts is on a lap though, and crosses the first sector. I'm afraid I didn't catch his first sector time. It certainly wasn't purple, so let's see. He's currently a 22.6 and got a quarter of a second on Ivan Beloff. He's slowing now. He's given up this lap. But let's watch Simon Palmer instead then. A 10.5 faster. Oh, and an invalidation on the approach to Aqua Minerale.
I think everyone has one last attempt now.
Yeah.
Theory.
Oh, Nitric Ash getting a tank slapper on over the Tamburello curbs, and that's that lap gone. He'll do well to get round in time to start a final lap before the checkered flag. So it could be Nitric Ash has shot his load on this occasion. Joe Hamster joins just to read the bad comments about himself from his friends, and hi to Rents as well. Rents always a faithful viewer. Good to have you with us. Don't forget, guys, before we head on to the final laps of this session, to like the video and subscribe to the channel tonight. I must just say a big thank you to our sponsors, Grid Rival, and to our partners, gridfinder.com and Driver61 as well, who support the racing and help us go racing all through the week. Yeah, let's watch him as he's almost a 10.5.
He's just starting his lap?
Just starting, yeah. It's funny, the game gives me a sector time when they start their lap based on their previous outlap. It's a bit weird. Looking like he's got good grip out there at the moment, Bert.
Yeah, I don't think it's worse.
I'm just keeping my eye on where everybody is. It looks like Ivan Beloff has gone wide in Villeneuve, so I don't think this lap will be it for him. I don't think he's going to go any faster. Might not stay on second place, but Ginger, wide. Yeah, that was rough from Ginger Tiger. But he's still got a purple middle sector.
Yeah, I don't believe that, mate. That's crazy, mate.
It certainly is crazy. He's got his teammate just ahead of him, who's currently on pole. Can Ginger Tiger join him on the front row, I wonder?
Yeah, I wonder, mate, but this is a Burke, I think, mate. If I knew that yesterday, mate.
Crosses the line, Ginger Tiger. He only gets up to P3. A nice time, though. Very nice. Who else have we got on a lap? Not Smoke. Sorry, not Nitro. Not Smoke either. Office Red about to cross the line. What will this be? Puts himself ahead of Smoke into P9. So on the pole side of the circuit, I wouldn't really call it the clean side of the circuit.
And have a look at Simon's last time, mate.
Wow. He managed to complete that one beautifully. Simon Palmer up to P5. Good place to start the race.
Should be good for his special strategy, I believe, mate.
Yeah, let's see what he could do. So, yeah, we've got Joe Hamster in driver room just complaining about Cool 132 slowing on the racing line, and an apology follows from Cool. I think that's the end of our qualifying session, but it was certainly dramatic. Ben Roberts with, I don't think I'm doing him any disservice to say a surprise pole position. Ben Roberts beating Ivan Beloff there, championship leader, and the guy with the most wins, Mr. Win or Bust, Ivan Beloff. So that's the end of the session. Simon Palmer with the biggest improvement at the end of that one. 11 drivers completed qualifying, and Ben Roberts was king of Imola in the wet quali session at 1:22.615 is the time. Ivan Beloff was the only guy anywhere near 1/4 of a second back in second place. Then Ginger Tiger nearly a second behind in third, and Keza in fourth place. Very, very tight between Keza and Ginger Tiger. Simon Palmer in the Mercedes P5, then Rusman, Joe Hamster, Nitrogash, Office Red, Smoke, and Cool 132. Our leading constructors start 9th and 11th, but it wouldn't be unusual to see them bring themselves forward through the race. Look for Simon Palmer's special strategy, which is supposed to take him forward in the race and be slower during qualifying. Ben says he's got a dry setup on. I'm pretty sure, but that with a dry race forecast, everyone will go for a dry setup and just struggle in quali, right?
I think they will do, yeah, mate.
Well, we will have our customary little break here just to make sure the drivers are comfortable, and they will go and get a drink, stretch their legs. Although I don't know there's much chance, you don't get much chance unless there's a safety car to take a drink during the Imola race. The straights aren't very long, are they?
It's drinking before, mate.
But not too much.
No,
you don't want that problem. But but yes, so this is round 11 of the season. We've just had F1 last night, featuring Burmeister himself, and we've got 4 more races, or is it 5 more races to go in the season, with F3 tomorrow, PC1, and then on Thursday, Realistic Performance, where you'll see a lot of the F2 drivers and the F1 drivers paired together in performance attributed cars. So you can tune on to that on Thursday night. But of course, if you've subscribed to the channel and set your notifications, you won't miss it. Just enough time though to share the race on socials if you want to get your mates involved and build up the banter as usual. But it's good time now as any to drop your podium predictions in the live chat. Remember, just choose 3 drivers for your podium predictions, please. I'm not quite sure what Rents is talking about tonight. There's a king to witness the race. What's he talking about?
I think Kuipers will be P1 tonight.
Do you?
Yeah, I think so, mate.
On vacation.
On vacation.
Yeah.
I asked for his credentials, mate, but he wouldn't give them.
Yeah, best not to talk about that. Otherwise, you'll get yourself banned. Doing a Daniel Apt there in the getting another driver to drive for you. But how do you fancy your chances though against the F2 crowd?
What do you mean by that?
Do you think you'd blast them away, or do you think you'd still be they'd still be competitive?
Well, mate, let me tell you this. If the assist won't be released next year in F1, I want to be in F2. So
okay.
Let's see then.
Okay. So the lights go out for the start of the formation lap. The Amazon pit stop strategy is pretty much garbage. They're saying medium to hard or soft to hard, but we will almost certainly see a one-stop. As long as there's no pit stops early on, it's unusual to see the hard tyres around here, but...
Never hard tyres. I think yesterday, Reshka got hard, but I think it was a mistake from the game where he didn't put his tyres right in the menu.
Yeah.
but normally you wouldn't use them because it's easy, soft, medium.
Well, we've got Joe Hamster going for the opposite strategy, which could work depending on a late safety car, for instance. He will be quick at the end of the race, but he'll take the pain, and he'll have 4 cars behind him. But what sort of difference does it make to your strategy, Burr, if there are only 11 drivers? Is the strategy more open, or do you have to just be very much plan A?
Yeah, I don't think really in F2 there is a plan A, because you always have to watch what happens in the first laps, and then you can really make your strategy, I think, in F2 as well, because there are a lot of safety cars in here. So it's always difficult to make up a strategy for that.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very narrow old school circuit.
In the first lap and can hang on to someone DRS, then it's good to keep going long and save some ERS or something.
Yeah. Well, what we'll ask you to do, Bert, for the start is to probably join one of the rearmost drivers on board, and you can get an idea of anything that happens towards the middle or back of the grid. I'll stick with the front for the broadcast, but it's after the initial half a lap, we'll come and find out what's been going on from the back. It's always good to have 2 pairs of eyes, and as well, if you spot anything on stream, do shout out and point it out to us. A little reminder as the drivers approach their grid slots, which apparently you'll be doing manually in the next iteration of the game, is to thank the sponsors, GridRival.com, and our partners, Grid Finder and Driver 61. 11 cars will take 32 laps around Imola for round 11 of the F2 Championship. Forgive me while I try and find a good camera angle. The game is a little bit difficult to help me on that one. And here we go then. The lights are on. And it's lights out and go, go, go in Imola. The Aston Martin's moving away in formation pretty well. Ivan Beloff right at the inside. And we've got one of the Alfa Romeos on the grass, just as happened to Max and Krieg last night, but with far gentler results. The McLaren side by side temporarily, but it looks like formation flying at the front. What did you see towards the back? As I think smoke might be moving up on Joe Hamster in the medium tyres. Joe with a little bit of contact on the inside left front, but holding on.
Office Red got pushed off at the start on the straight. They were trying to defend. I think Nitro Dash was moving from the right to the left, put 3 wide, and they pushed Office Red in the wall there, I think.
Yeah.
I think he has a broken wing.
Oh, did we see an issue? Yeah, with definitely a slow McLaren coming out of the Piratella corner. Sorry, the Aqua Minerale. He looked quite slow, and actually now Joe is on the back of smoke on the way down to Ravazza, and it looks like Ivan Beloff for the lead, side by side with Ben Roberts. Ivan Beloff getting past. So before the end of lap 1, the championship leader takes the lead once again. Ben Roberts right on the tail of the Alpha Tauri driver, and has got the inside line as they head down past the pit lane exit. Ben Roberts already passed. I'm assuming he spent quite a lot of ERS making that move so easily.
He did.
Wow.
He did. I think Ivan is not worried about being P1 in the beginning of this stage. He's just saving his ERS, let someone else drive in front, and when his moment comes, he will take it and disappear, I think.
Bit like a cycling peloton lead rider, as it's
getting attacked now by Keza. He's looking.
Yeah, here comes Keza now over the crest on the way into Piratella, but Keza getting loose through the corner thanks to the loss of aero through there.
I think this is you saw yesterday, but this is a great chance for an overtake to get the Aqua Minerale right, and then a good exit and place it on the inside.
Yeah, we did see several moves into there, which was slightly surprising, but you make a very good point that it's all about your trip through Aqua Minerale 2 corners prior. Keza now a quarter of a second behind Ivan Beloff, and while I'm sure he's not too worried about leading the race, I don't think he wants to get stuck in the midfield, so I'm sure he'll be wanting to try and hold on to that second place. The Mercedes of Keza trying to do what Ivan Beloff do what Ben Roberts did, but without deploying all of his battery, and that's certainly no way to get past Ivan Beloff. The straight is just not long enough to do it on slipstream alone.
I think Ivan spent quite a lot of the ERS right now just to keep clear of Keza, because he doesn't want to lose second place, I think. But Keza is looking from left to the right.
Yeah, he is moving around in the mirrors, and I'm sure Ivan Beloff will just focus on the defence when it gets to two triangles. Oh, there we go then, up the inside, almost four wheels on the grass goes
Oh, why doesn't
Keza.
he go for it, mate?
That was super close. That was very brave right up until they hit the brakes, and then it was a little bit tame.
I think he braked a little bit too early, mate. He had the inside there. He could easily make, not easily, but he should have done more, I think, there, Keza.
Yeah. Rent's saying that a few odd lines from the Aston Martin driver, Ben, I think he's talking about, and Ben has got a penalty already as well. And it definitely helps if you don't get the penalties. Here comes Ivan Beloff with the DRS, first opportunity, and blast straight past Ben Roberts with that penalty as well. Smoke has made 3 places up. Everybody else just about where they started, as Ben Roberts tries to go around the outside on the way into Villeneuve, and that's just going to cost him into Toza. Keza drawing very close indeed. And as I say, Ben Roberts, the only driver so far with a 3-second time penalty. But Joe Hamster holding on.
I think we have to watch out for Jinder Tiger right now. He's just staying in DRS. He has 80%, 76% of ERS right now, and the front 3, they're below 50 already.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, here comes Ben. Again, that gap between Aqua Minerale and and he's Leclerc'd it. Ben Roberts Leclerc'd it over the Variante Alta. Waits for an opportune moment to rejoin the track safely, and that's one way of throwing away a potential podium.
It is, mate, but it's still early in the race, and a lot of things can happen.
Well, heartbreak for Ben.
He's still fighting it in the back.
I'm sure those tyres will be cooked to start with. A massive twitch on the way out of Ravazza, but that was a very, very good hold.
I think the rejoin was quite nice as well, mate.
Yeah. It was safe, it was sporting, and he should be able to get those tyres cool enough now by the time he brakes for Triguardo turns 2 and 3, because that long straight really helps cool those tyres back down to racing temperature. Smoke's doing well up into P6 from near the back of the grid, and he's ahead of Joe Hamster, just behind Nitrogash, but Ivan Beloff leads on lap 5 by half a second from Keza, Ginger Tiger, Simon Palmer.
Ben Roberts is head down right now. I think he wants to get connection as soon as possible again.
Yeah, we saw drivers get up to lap 11, 12, 13 yesterday on the soft tyres. How close were they to the edge?
To go to 11 or 12.
Yeah. It did look like 11 was about the right time. Beyond that, and the tyres really started to cause problems for the drivers. Joe Hamster is struggling massively at the moment for pace.
But otherwise, you can have the problems in the end of your medium stint if you go too early.
Yeah, exactly. Keza, look at the overspeed for Keza. Has to go around the outside, almost runs into the back, and takes the lead on lap 6 from Ivan Beloff. Keza with some great pace on the DRS there. He just needs to consolidate that now and keep building. As we've got Smoke past Nitrogash, have we? Oh, they're side by side on the way out of Villeneuve. On the way out of Tamburello. Smoke is right there.
We need to watch Simon this lap. If he can keep up with the front group, then he can stay with him. And if he cannot go into DRS now, I think it's over right now for him. He's very low on ERS already.
Okay,
this is do or die for Simon right now.
We know he's been planning his strategy well, and maybe he's been protecting those softs a little bit too much. We'll see what he decides to do here. Does he pick up the pace to try and get within that DRS? He seems to be dropping back though, tenth of a second every few seconds.
I don't think he can come back now, because you have to go like 6 laps more, and you don't have DRS in the front three have DRS.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's possible. Maybe with a big undercut, but quite difficult right now.
It is, and the race is very much split into three groups. You've got Simon Palmer just hanging on to the back as now Ivan Beloff down the inside into Traguardo, and next Tamburello takes the middle line and he retakes the lead. I think we've had, is that 5 changes for the lead in 7 laps already. Tremendous stuff here from the F2 boys, and remarkably clean so far as well. I've said it now, haven't I? Simon Palmer, splitting that group now between the top 4 and then the next 4 to come. We've got slow running from Rusman and Office with issues. Rusman put hard tyres on very early, presumably pitting for a nice new front wing.
Oh, spin from Keza, mate.
It is. It is indeed. Keza Aqua Minerale was the undoing of Keza's race. Down he goes to P8, possibly P9. Joe Hamster screams on past and on the approach to Variante Alta. And unfortunately, Keza out.
In front. DRS is broken for the front 3, so now it's all open for everyone again. The train is gone, and now it's just pure pace.
Yeah, just head down, focus on your strategy and your tyre wear, I guess. Yeah, so the Sting has gone out of the battle for the front after 2 of the lead runners in the first 8 laps have crashed on their own, really. One in Aqua Minerale, one in Variante Alta. And it's a very, very difficult track around here.
It's a difficult track, mate. I think those 2 corners and Tosa are the most difficult corners, and especially Aqua Minerale. It's because you can lose the rear there with wrong setup or just not the right balance or a little bit of overheating the tires. It's gone there, so you always have to be cautious.
Yeah. How's Joe Hamster's plan working out, do you think, at this stage? He is, what is he? 11 seconds off the lead now. He's the lead medium runner. He's on the alternate strategy. So what do you think? Yeah. Is he too far back already?
Like I told in the beginning, I think the softs will go in like 3 laps now, and they will have a big undercut. Oh, Simon is already going now, lap 9, I see. That's quite early.
That is early, yeah. Will he be able to get mediums to the end comfortably? That's the tyre he's chosen.
Not comfortably, maybe he has like 12 wings or 11. Oh, but we'll see, mate. But he will have like an undercut on Ginger and Ivan now. So if he has the right outlap and everything, then he will be in DRS again.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Ben Roberts has made it back up to 4th place already with that pit stop from Simon Palmer and crash from Keza. So, well, spin from Keza, I suppose it wasn't really a crash. Ben Roberts might be bringing himself back towards contention here in the race. He didn't pit. He's still on the lead strategy. Oh, Nitrogash wears the floor on his car using loads of the sausage curbs on the way up the hill from Aqua Minerale and loses a lot of time to Ben Roberts in front and Core 132 behind.
I'm watching Simon's time to the leader, and it's staying the same. I think also the soft will last pretty long on this circuit, and they're quite strong.
Will the rain during qualifying affect anything? Is the game coded that way, Bert, or is it just a fresh circuit?
I don't know why that's the way. Normally softs go off quite. Yeah, when they're at 50%, they feel really bad. But I don't know. In this, I think it's because of you can keep the temperatures quite well here, because you don't have a lot of corners following each other. You always have straights in between them, so the temperatures are quite well.
It's got a good rhythm, this circuit, for that reason, I think. Plenty of time to adjust and mess with brake balances or check out your strategy or your time gaps. It's a nice pace. It's got a good flow to it. Ben Roberts, I think, passes Smoke there as well. So Smoke gets passed by Ben Roberts up to P3 again now. Ben Roberts, after starting on pole, and the comeback continues. Ivan Beloff is 3.9 seconds ahead of Ginger Tiger, who has 5.6 on his teammate Ben. But Ben with a penalty as well to take into account.
Well, Simon is not gaining on Ivan Beloff, but he gained like 2 seconds on Ginger Tiger already.
So Joe makes
so
it past.
I think he will come out in second.
David in the chat says Simon Palmer getting a decent undercut here. Burr's definitely watching that carefully.
After lap 28.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Medium behavior.
Palmer gets past Smoke, and I think Kez is going to get past him as well, is he? Let's have a look. Yeah, so Smoke manages to get out just ahead of Keza, but he's going to be slow for the next few corners on cold mediums. And what is it, about a lap before the mediums are properly up to temperature, Burr?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think there are a lot of problems to get those mediums up to temperature.
Awesome.
Because they're fresh, you go in with the feeling of old softs, and then you get fresh mediums. Cold, yeah, they're cold, but they're always better than those old softs.
Absolutely. It's going the other way around, I guess. That's a big adjustment. If you go from old mediums to fresh softs that are switched on almost immediately.
But then it's like what have I been driving on always when you go medium first, and then in the last 10 rounds on low fuel soft tires, then it's just really enjoyable.
Yeah. So we're about the 1/3 distance, which is a typical time for the soft starting drivers to head into the pits. Keza has DRS. He has virtually no ERS to pass Smoke, but he doesn't need it. DRS is a little bit overpowered, frankly, on this circuit. You want it to be able to get you alongside on the brakes, not past before the braking zone, but slightly different tyre wear as well. Smoke and Keza. Keza gets past Smoke, and now we've got Cool 132, half a second behind Nitrogash for 4th.
If I were Keza, I would stay behind for a couple more laps with that level of ERS.
As long as you're not losing too much.
Drag in, smoke around, and he cannot, really. He's also using ERS out of the corners. I don't know why you should want to stay in front with 10% ERS.
Well, that was close. We just had Nitro and Cool pit just behind Ivan Beloff. And I think Cool almost hit Nitro, who oversped into the pits and picked up a penalty.
Now.
Crazy. So yeah, as you say, Simon Palmer could actually pass the leader here. I think he's certainly going to pass the other two guys in the pits, but Ivan Beloff on his way out of the pits already. And down into Traguardo, Tamburello. So Simon Palmer up to 5th with 2 cars still to pit, Ginger Tiger and Ben Roberts. Smoke gets Keza back again.
Ivan is just too quick here today.
It's the story of our season.
ERS. He's not using anything, he's just having fun.
I'm afraid it's the story of our season, Ivan Beloff, but hopefully he'll be eligible for F1 next season, and we'll have a slightly closer battle at the very front. But as I say many times, I didn't remain a fan of F1 through the Schumacher years by only caring about the winner of races. It's the stories all the way through that I enjoy. Ginger Tiger does pit. Ben Roberts will stay out and retake the lead on lap 14.
Let's see what Simon can do now then to Ginger.
Yeah.
If he didn't make mistakes after his pit stop, then I think he should be easily in front.
How are you going to feel, Burr, about having a different voice in your ear as a racer in the next game? Jeff is no more.
Is it?
Yeah, it's going to be Mark Priestley of McLaren, of ex-McLaren engineer, who is going to be the driver engineer. And Simon Palmer did get the undercut on Ginger Tiger.
I never listened to Jeff anyways, mate, but that sounds good that we really have a real engineer right now.
Although I have to say, they're talking up Mark Priestley's credentials, but I believe he was a mechanic, not an actual race engineer. But all the same, he was a race team, track team member, so he will know a little bit more what he's talking about.
Well, what I've seen right now from the game with the manual lineup and manual pit stops and that kind of things, I think that's quite great to have in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be cool. As long as we don't have silly mini games in the pits again, I think we'll be all right. I'm not quite sure about collecting fashionable furniture and watches, but we'll reserve judgment until we can play it actually online and see what kind of broadcast options we're going to get as well.
So I'm getting under pressure already from Ginger. I think he is going to overtake already now.
Yeah, Simon Palmer's tyres are
Still
already
quite
5
low
laps
on
in.
ERS. He should stay behind Ginger to make a chance right now.
That was a late move from a late defensive move, I think, from Simon. And luckily Ginger had chosen to go right because it would have been a big crash. Yeah. What do you think that's about? Is that just lack of rhythm, or is that the aero wake taking the wing?
That's just not staying calm, mate. He gets overtaken, he gets a little bit mad, and yeah, that's why these things happen, mate.
Gotcha. Okay. So says a man of experience.
Yeah, he has no ERS. He's doing everything he can to stay inside now. If he can,
it's completely gone. Yeah, you're right.
If he needs to stay in, mate. Now he's using everything, I think, but yeah.
It's not working out
it's
quite so well.
It's frustrating, mate. But I think if he would have stayed calm for the last lap, he was still in there.
Yeah, and I think he would have got Ben Roberts as well, who pits now from the lead. Ben Roberts almost certainly will fall foul of his teammate, but will he get out in front of Simon Palmer, I wonder? He's gone for hard tyres on lap 16. Very unusual choice from Ben Roberts, who is then passed by Simon Palmer and I think Smoke as well on his way out of the pits. Keza gets him too, so Ben's dropping right back down again to P7 and on hard tyres.
That's race over.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what reason that would have been to put the hards on.
Yeah, you have the menus in the game, and sometimes it's auto resetting or getting a better strategy for you, but you always have to check it before you go in.
So do a whole practice race, do you think? Check the strategy?
There is a lot of content on YouTube, mate.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But if you want to be sure, like we do it, if we have time, we do it. But it's only like 20% of the races when we really like to crack. I do some laps with Kuipers and Simply 90 and maybe Simon and those guys. But not always. But if you do it, you're really well prepared. But normally, like yesterday, I did like a quarter of a race just before the race to see how many fuel it's using, how many tires, and then I just calculated on my calculator how much fuel and tires you need.
Well, Ben Roberts pits again.
If you really want to know it, you have to do a race before, yeah.
That looks like a mistake then. That looks like an accident for Ben Roberts. He put hard tyres on, he's come back in for softs the next lap, and he's put softs on for the end of the race. So,
but you're not gonna make it on the softs as well, mate. For
dear.
15 laps. Yeah, you can make it, but the last 4 laps are like gummies.
That's very, very difficult. I'll tell you what else. It's been a very unremarkable race for the Alfa Romeos as well. Office Red at the foot of the field, 49 seconds off Ben Roberts' time, has obviously had all manner of problems. He's got no penalties, but Cool 132, Constructors' Championship leading teammate, only in 8th as well. So it's been a very lackluster race so far from the leaders of the championship. It's a funny character, this track. Some drivers really enjoy it, but I've heard just as much hate for the Imola, and we've also got not many turned up today as well, so I wonder if that's got anything to do with it.
Maybe they've been away from my criticism, mate.
That's true. That's true. Although I didn't announce you would be with me, so I just said I was hoping to get a guest commentator. So unless you've been telling everybody that you're going to be scathing.
I've not, man.
But I have to say, we're also entering exam season, so you often get drivers drop off.
Joe Hamster is almost going in, I think, in 1 or 2 laps now.
Yeah. It's getting near the point, isn't it? Lap 20 or 21 would be great for Joe, and he's outlived everybody's expectations so far.
I think he comes out behind Nitro, and then he can have like really good laps afterwards, just getting them one by one. But you have to stay focused and not make mistakes.
Yeah,
but
and
he still has a chance on a podium.
Yeah, Joe making the alternate strategy work so far. Of course, he could really do with a safety car around about now, but it's been fairly calm from the drivers up till now. We had issue at the start. It was Office Red who had that problem on the grass at the start, but managed to survive. I think he picked up a bit of damage and pitted.
Yellow.
What have we got? Was that just Office Red going through, maybe letting drivers past? I'm not sure. Slightly weird one, but I think Office Red about to get lapped from Joe Hamster shortly. Looks like... Go ahead.
Red basically waiting for the safety car.
Yeah. We've got Smoke right on the back of Simon Palmer, just 3/10 behind him, so we might have a battle on our hands shortly.
Came in for a new set of top. Maybe to get the fastest lap, because he has to keep it so good.
Smoke picks up a penalty following Simon Palmer, so now it's 3 seconds at least for the majority of the field on these penalties. Ivan Beloff, Ginger Tiger and Office Red so far driving without them, although Office Red isn't going to profit from that, being as far back as he is at the moment. Here comes Smoke on the back of Simon Palmer on the way down to Ravazza. There's no point having a go into Ravazza, Burr, unless it's raining, because you've always got that DRS straight afterwards.
Just has to save, and Simon has to keep up.
Yeah. Well, Smoke made easy work of Simon Palmer there, so nicely passed.
If Simon is wise right now, he tries to stay behind and save ERS. Everybody there is out of ERS. Just save and do it in the last 2 or 3 laps of the race.
Okay. Yeah. You've got Ben Roberts, a 1:17.242. So a new fastest lap from Ben Roberts on the comeback trail on those soft tyres, but 12 seconds away from cool 1:32. If anybody needs a safety car more than Joe Hamster, it's Ben Roberts at this stage. He's on good tyres for the end of the race. Rents says in the chat, it's a very easy flowing track. And if they'd have kept the Variante Bassa chicane that they use for MotoGP, he says it would have been the DRS wouldn't be so overpowered. It's a pretty good point he makes there.
Yeah, I think there's only one DRS straight on this track, so why shouldn't there be just one good spot? I think if there isn't one, yeah, you can do it like I did yesterday, but where should you do it else?
Yeah, it's very difficult. You couldn't really do it on the way to Piratella with the topography of the circuit. You've got Joe Hamster in the pits at the moment. He's dropping down to P8. That's where he will rejoin the race. So soft tyres, and I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, Burr, but is it looking a bit darker on screen to you?
Yeah, it is. It's looking quite grey, mate.
Yeah.
But still no rain. I'm watching the battle for the last podium position. I think it's quite interesting because Smoke could take it, Simon, or Keza could take it. They're both on the same penalties.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just racing with each other pretty much. Ginger Tiger on his own in second, 9.7 seconds off the leader, but 2.4 seconds in front of this group. And I think that's only going to grow with Smoke, with them all battling between each other. They could drive to use the DRS to bring themselves forward in the race, but that would take a remarkable amount of cooperation to achieve. So I think Ginger Tiger might be quite settled in that second place. But be interesting to see what Joe's gap goes to. It's currently 4 seconds to call 132. He's got big gaps between the drivers to try and make up these places.
No, he ain't gonna make up the place. The undercut, like I said in the beginning, he can make up some place, but he ain't fighting for the podium again.
No.
The undercut because it's so long, you have like 10 or 9 laps that you have the faster tire, so you can never make it up. And if you eventually get at the P3 group, then your tires are already wasted and you're just in the frame.
Yeah, this battle for third is absolutely where the action is at tonight. The rest of the circuit really has spread out. It looks like Ivan Belov starting to close on the back of Office Red.
DRS. I don't know why you should.
It's all about saving it for the end, is it?
Yeah, but they're still using it. They are too greedy to get that P3 now already. If you're like, you have to be patient. You have to save it up. You have don't use it and just keep in the DRS.
Yeah.
And save like 60% for the last lap or something, or more maybe.
What impact will the fact that the two cars following third place Smoke are both teammates? What kind of impact will that have as Simon Palmer picks up another penalty going over the Tamburello corner? Do you think they need to focus on playing nice? Do you think they need to give each other a chance to pass Smoke? What's the situation here between the teammates?
I don't know, mate, what kind of relationship they have. Yeah, it's just like, I had teammates which I talk daily to, and then also with people from F1, I know them so long, you know how they race,
yeah.
So you know where to go and how far you can push it. That's the most important thing, I think. But I don't know if Keza and Simon know each other.
I can't really say. I haven't heard a lot of chatter between them.
Simon is defending like hell, so I don't think so, mate.
Yes. He's definitely in the middle of the track, isn't he? It's tricky.
And using his ERS also.
Yeah, but of course Keza, until Simon drops a second behind Smoke, Keza's going to have a hell of a difficulty passing him. Keza is also derating on the ERS. So neither of them, as you say, being particularly...
They're on 0%.
So we've got 8 laps to go as Joe Hamster moves up to P7 and finally gets cool 132. So that was pretty quick, but he's got another 5-second gap now to try and catch Nitro. So he might get one more, maybe 2 more drivers before the end of the race, unless we get a full caution. We'll see.
I don't think we get today. It's
not
quite, there have been some spins, but not really like crashes or something.
Well, I suppose it could all go wrong with this battle for third. It could all get a bit ugly between teammates and Ferrari versus Mercedes. Simon's got right on the back of Smoke this time. Takes a wide angle into Variante Alta with a good exit. He might be right there for a DRS pass this time round. He'll stay behind him into Ravazza.
You should stay behind me.
Keza might stick the nose up in Ravazza as Simon's trying to take that
fight.
wide line.
It's a good fight.
It's going to keep us entertained.
Why is he pitting?
Oh yeah,
what is
interesting.
He doing?
Smoke pits, so he obviously couldn't get those mediums to the end. What age are those mediums? 13 laps.
13 rounds. What is he doing there?
I don't know. I really don't know. There's no damage change. It's just soft tyres. So
3 podiums now, mate.
Absolutely. So now it's definitely on between the Mercedes pair, because now they're hunting for a podium.
And they're not friends, mate. I saw that by the defending already.
Yeah. Well, they haven't touched yet, but maybe they will.
I
Simon
think
Palmer
Kesa's gonna
derating.
overtake on the DRS straight.
Yeah. Joe Hamster can't shake Cool 132. He's still in DRS range. I thought Joe would be a bit quicker than this.
He gets closer. Kesa almost hit the back of Simon. Brake too late.
They're definitely not doing this quickly. Maybe they're just, maybe they're, trying to save their tyres as well for the end. Simon's tyres, of course, will be far worse than Kesa's. No, scratch that. I thought it was Simon that pitted really early, but they pitted at the same time. So there you go.
I think Simon has the one lap fresher tyres.
Yeah, here comes Keza then.
He's letting him by now. If this is the battle for the last podium position, you have to be smart in this one.
Yeah. I think though that Keza's got too much pace. I think he'll get away from Simon Palmer at this point. I'm not sure Simon can stay within that DRS range. Keza just looks that little bit quicker on track.
He has the one lap fresher tyres, Simon.
Oh no! I cursed him. That's definitely on me, as Keza makes a mistake through Toza, as the tyre wear is definitely taking effect. That's an easy one for Simon Palmer then.
Now let's see if Simon can get... He's now out of DRS. So this could... Oh, he's going wide as well.
No way! They both go wide. They both go wide, and it looks like it's the car unlapping themselves. Office Red unlaps himself. Crazy.
I think Kesa's got whole tires right now. But
is this just tires? Yeah.
Head,
this is their tires gone off. You think?
No. Yeah. Maybe because of the drift in Tosa.
Yeah.
He got less tires in the following corners.
Well, they can't afford a pit stop, as now Joe Hamster has caught Nitro really quickly. So he's now within DRS for the next opportunity. I think Joe Hamster will be on his way right behind Nitro. So a 5th place definitely possible for Joe.
Possible, yes, possible. But still 8 seconds for the podium place. So that's...
Yeah, and he's got a 6-second penalty as well. So he's got to get 1 second clear of Nitro. In order to make that work.
Is on 6 seconds right now, so it's quite even again.
Well, Nitro's on 5. He's picked that up on the way into the pits tonight. And it looks like the Mercedes pair have relapped Office Red, who was surprised to find 2 Mercedes drivers off on the same corner, and unlapped himself temporarily, at least to those drivers. Joe is now 1/3 of a second behind Nitro. So Ivan Beloff is 14.5 seconds up the road from Ginger Tiger.
Ivan as well, mate. He's just cruising around. He's on, in the last corners around Trivatsa, he was on 85% ERS. He's just, I think he's driving with one hand at the moment, mate.
Well, Rent says, how much were the Mercedes drivers churning through their tyres to run out in lap 17. Here comes Joe going past Nitro, and that's him up to 5th place if he can get 1 second ahead of Nitro, and the penalties stay the way they are.
DRS again.
Oh no. We'll look forward to those two going at it once again.
This is the battle for the last podium position.
Everybody just has to keep the focus. Is it difficult towards the end of a long race like this with no interruptions? Does it definitely hurt the focus levels?
I think the end of the race is the easiest, mate, because
do you?
You have been there like 28 times in the corner. if you haven't learned the corner, when you've been there 28 times, you can better quit the game, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking that you might start to get tired. Your focus might drop off. But you think maybe the adrenaline keeps you.
You have that sometimes on a Monza or something. But this you always have a corner to watch out for. But so this track not. But there are tracks where you can lack focus at some point, especially when you're driving out of nowhere.
I don't know if you're watching the live chat, but I think there's a message for you in the live chat from Jim.
It's Kuipers.
Is that Kuipers? It's okay.
Top.
He says, "Una cerveza, por favor."
Yeah, he's in Mallorca now, mate.
Oh, nice. Very nice. I don't know why he didn't take his racing rig with him, though. Rusman DNFs and retires from the session in the pits. Rusman out of the race in a potential points-paying position. That has the hallmark of someone who's been told to quit the game and do something else, frankly. I've had all sorts of problems for drivers. They've been told to go and do the dishes. The dinner's been ready. They've had to go out. In South Africa, they get load shedding, where they get scheduled power cuts, stopping drivers racing. But I don't quite know why Rusman exited there. Very unusual.
Yeah, he had some points.
Yeah, he's on for it. Well, Office Red will get around then and should pick up points tonight, which Cool 132 and Office Red leading the Constructors' Championship. It's not going to be a memorable race for those two, but it will still score points, and they could have the opportunity to go for fastest lap as well. Who's got that at the moment? I think Ben Roberts has fast. No, it's Rusman who's got the fastest lap, so he's not going to get anything for that. Someone's going to need to go ahead and beat that time, and I think if you keep an eye on Ivan Beloff, he'll probably go for it shortly.
Well, I was just thinking Kuipers would fit perfectly in between Ivan Beloff and Ginger Tiger, in between that 18 seconds, didn't
Yes. Especially with a legendary Burmeister setup that he always uses.
No, he's not using them anymore.
Oh no?
No, I like a little bit loose rear, and they don't like it, mate.
Okay. Awesome. Good to hear. So you like a car on the nose?
Yes, turning, mate.
Nice. Keza and Simon Palmer, that's where it's at the moment.
Last lap, mate. He's not. Yeah, he has 11%. He's not gonna make it on this straight, is he?
No, actually, I can see some wear on the tyres just visually on the camera. You really are struggling with these tyres.
This is it for Simon, mate. It's one more lap I see right now, so there's one more chance.
Well, Ivan Beloff, he's 36 hundredths off his fastest time in the first sector alone. He's of course not got soft tyres to do this on. He's trying to do it on low fuel. We're going to try and get himself.
A few laps before, he could easily overtake them again. I think.
And here comes a pit stop for one of the Alphas as well. Pit stop in for Office Red, I think. Presumably some soft tyres, but that's not going to do anything for your race at the end because you can't.
Extra point, mate.
Well, can he fit it in?
Because he's 10th, mate.
He's a lap down.
No,
the final lap begins.
Lap,
no, he's a lap down. So strange one. Unless that's Cool 132, is it? Yes, it is.
No.
So he's not a lap down yet, but no, he can't finish. Final lap begins.
Also pitted, mate. They both pitted.
Okay, weird.
Office made a mistake there, I think.
And as you say, this is it for Keza, as Joe Hamster is catching these two for a potential podium.
I want Simon Palmer in there. Come on!
Keza's got the DRS. Simon Palmer goes to the inside. He's going to try it, but I don't think he's going to make it work there. He's going to need a mighty trip through Acqua Minerale to make it stick, or possibly get alongside in the Ravazzas. Joe Hamster quite fancies these two running into each other.
It can go wrong in Acqua Minerale, mate. That's the last opportunity, or afterwards. If Simon makes a mistake now in this part of the track, but yeah.
Well, we've got Ivan Beloff approaching the Ravazzas for the final time. He's about to take yet another victory. This could well be victory number 7 of the season, of an 11 races so far. Ivan Beloff does indeed win the Imola Grand Prix. Let's cut quickly back to Keza and Simon Palmer. Joe Hamster's climbing all over the back of them.
They also caught up to Ginger Tiger.
Yeah. Here comes Joe then down the inside, dive bomb into Ravat, so the door was left open. That was a beautiful move from Joe. Looks like Ginger Tiger's going to cross the line on very old tyres, but he completes a second place run. Simon Palmer in third. Keza stays ahead of Joe on penalty countback, but a great move from Joe at the end of the race. He's quite the overtaking specialist.
Keza was looking forward there and only looking to Simon, trying to get a good exit there, and then there was Joe suddenly on the inside on the softs.
Copy that. We've got Nitro in 6th, Smoke in 7th. Ben Roberts unfortunately took pole and has only managed to bring it home in 8th place. Cool 132 in 9th, but Office Red stole the fastest lap at the end, so he has managed to gain that extra place. Stick with us as we'll try and speak to our podium sitters. Rents asks if Ivan's won the championship. Yeah, I haven't done the maths yet. Maybe one of our league coordinators can do the maths. Smoke gets driver of the day. I don't know if you agree with that, Burr, or you want to have a bit longer to think about your driver of the day today. So Ivan Beloff, top of the tree once again, keeping up his win or bust record. We'll do our best to get you some podium interviews, if possible. Daryl says when he next DNFs, he's using the load shedding excuse. Joe, go ahead.
Driver of the day is for the one who got the last podium position, mate. That was the biggest battle on track.
So that was for Simon Palmer then.
I think the tension of the race was in that battle, mate.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think Ginger, because they caught up, I think Ginger did like easy on the last because it was already in the P2. You can tell us, Ginger.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. That's the finishing order as we try and assemble our drivers. I know one of them has arrived already. Ivan Beloff wins from Ginger Tiger and Simon Palmer. Then we have Keza very close behind and level almost with Joe Hamster at the end. One stop was the way for the top 6. Nitro in P6, Smoke in P7 on the first of the 2 stoppers. Then Ben Roberts, who used the hards, somewhat of a surprise to see the hard tyres come into play. Cool 132 finished 9th. Office Red 4-stopped his way to the fastest lap and 10th position. So a 4-point haul for Alfa Romeo. And Rusman, unfortunately, somewhat surprisingly, managed to DNF towards the end in the pits. I can see that we have been joined by our race winner, Ivan Beloff, and I wonder, Burr, whether you could try and invite Simon Palmer to the party, because I'm not sure he's been here before. He might need an invite. Thank you. So as the drivers get ready for the press conference, so just and make sure their broadcast and party audio settings are set to share, I will just one more big thank you to our sponsors, Grid Rival, and our partners, Grid Finder and Driver 61. Here are our drivers then, and congratulations must first go to our winner yet again. It's Ivan Beloff.
Hello everyone, my congratulations to Ginger and Simon.
Yeah, well, congratulations first and foremost to you, Ivan. That was relatively easy, but at the first few laps it looked like you had a bit of a battle on your hands. What was going on?
Yeah, it was a little bit boring race, except a few first laps, and I was battling with Ben, and I'm not sure what happened with him, but I'm sure that that's not my fault. And yeah, a few first laps were a little bit busy.
Yeah, they looked it. Burmeister's with us. If you've got any questions for the drivers, then chime in, Burr. But he was saying that that he felt like you weren't too worried about having the lead at the start of the race. You were quite happy to sit behind Ben. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. pays to have an F1 driver in the midst in the commentary box. Burr, any questions from you?
Yeah, you were. Weber was talking about getting fallen asleep during a race, but I guess you had some moments where you almost fall asleep, didn't you?
Yeah, that's true. I did some mistakes because I don't know. Maybe I lost my concentration because of boring race, or I was very careful every lap in Aqua Minerale because it's because that turn is my nightmare, and yeah, I really did a few terrible mistakes.
Yeah.
No push for fastest lap at the end, though, Ivan. What was that about? You just didn't have the tyres?
Oh no, I saw that somebody did a fast lap, the fastest lap, but I saw that it was on softs, and I just wanted to finish.
Smart.
Yeah, you're right, mate. But maybe next season you'll have to join us in F1, mate, to get rid of those boring races.
Yeah, yeah. I will be happy to join you guys.
I think you're more than welcome, mate.
Thanks.
Go and race with the big boys. Well, thanks, Ivan. Very good of you to come and talk to us once again. You must have high hopes to win this F2 championship now, with 4 or 5 to go.
Oh, I don't think so, because Ginger is still in the game, and just one DNF and you are out. I think that everything will happen in Britain, in Silverstone.
Do you? You think it will go down to the wire? Well, we'll see. Yeah, let's go and talk to our next driver. So there are 4 races left to go. It's France, China, the Netherlands, and Great Britain. Very unusual to finish a season in Great Britain, actually. I wonder if Ivan can bring his AlphaTauri teammate Kuipers up further in the constructor standings as well as we go to the end of the race, at the end of the season. Second on the grid was Ginger Tiger, and Ginger must have been having almost as boring a race as Ivan out there.
Yeah. Concentration was the big key. I nearly lost it with 2 laps to go, or was it 3 laps to go? Because I had about a 3.5, 4 second lead on the group behind me.
Yeah. And
I nearly lost it on turn 2, I think it was. Certainly woke me up, put it that way. But I couldn't catch Ivan again. He's just far too quick. So well done to him and Simon on the podium again, 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, it was a boring race. It was just making sure the guys behind me were just far enough out of reach, and just kept driving round and making sure there was no mistakes.
Absolutely. Anything from you, Bear, at all?
Yeah, I think you just did a great race, but in the end, P3 came very close to you. Did you drive the last reps really safe or what?
Yes, I did. With the mistake I made, I just was doubly sure. The tyres were on 55, both rears were on 55, so I didn't really want to risk it through any turns. I didn't want to touch any curbs. So it was taking my time. I knew the guys behind had 6 seconds of penalties each, so I was just playing it safe. I couldn't have caught Ivan anyway. He's far too quick.
And in the battle in the middle of the race with Simon and I think it was Smoke or something, with you 3 pair up for the last spot. Were you nervous in that part of the race, or what were your feelings?
Yeah, I got off the line pretty good, but I think it was on turn 3 I went off the track and let Keza through, and that was okay. And then my teammate Ben spun out, so there was 3 of us, and it was fine because I was staying in the DRS, and I think Keza was going to give Ivan a good run, and then Keza spun, and I was then out of DRS, and I just couldn't catch him. And then Simon got past me in the pits, and it was rather, it was nervy. I just wanted to get past him and then far enough away so he couldn't DRS me on the next straight. It's right now. It's all about points for me and making sure I'm still in the championship. You know, it's been a good battle all season.
You didn't lose too many points there, did you, to Ivan tonight?
No.
So keep the pressure on.
No.
Yeah, that's why it's extra nervy when you get in those situations where Simon and other guys, they don't have nothing to lose. So
no, absolutely. Well, I was watching Keza and Ivan battle, and I was just waiting for it all to happen, but nothing did, so that was it then. So it's just a nice, safe drive home.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on another podium, Ginger Tiger, and keeping the championship going, and you know, keeping Ivan as honest as possible. Simon Palmer joins us in third place. He's been waiting very patiently. Simon, how was your race today? It looked like you had plenty to keep you occupied.
Yeah, it was a busy one, that's for sure. To be honest, you know, those guys out front just had too much pace, especially Ivan. Congratulations, that's just another superb drive. It's just a shame the penalties were picked up, because that could have thrown things in the mix with P2, to be honest. You know, it could have come into effect. I decided to obviously do a very early pit stop to try and get a bit of a leapfrog on the guys in front, and it worked to some extent, and I think it probably gained a couple of positions overall, track positions, but it was a busy race. To be honest, I'm just happy to be up there again, just showing that, you know, it is still there. I have still got it, and the beginning of the season and the middle of the season was just a pile of shit. A pile of crap. Oh, God, a pile of rubbish, to be honest.
Mate.
You know. Yeah.
Burr's been watching along, and he was very much supporting you tonight. Burr's with us in the commentary booth. I'm sure he wants to talk to you a little bit about your team relationship with Keza. But Burr, go ahead.
Simon, I would have been mad if you didn't get the podium tonight. You know that. No, mate. We were just watching the battle, and I was just praying for you to get the podium, mate, because we have so nice relationship over the years, and I think it's just great, and you're just a good guy, and you don't have that much time, so that's I told the viewers as well that makes you a good racer, mate. Not put that much time in and still.
I have no time, man. I literally had about 40 minutes before we come on. That was it.
That's it, mate. And then
all I had.
In the end, just trying to do everything with the undercut. We also discussed it in the stream as well. I think you did really great, man. And in the end, with the pressure from your teammate, Webber was asking if he would let you by. I don't think Simon is letting him by right now.
To be honest, there was communication between me and Keza, obviously, and you know, he could have gone past. And he said, take the podium. I
think he passed you in Tosa.
He did, but then he lost it.
He lost it, yeah.
And then he lost it, so I went back past, and
you both went wide in Aqua Minerale in the same corner, and Office Red had to unlap himself. What happened there? Was that tyre wear, or what was it?
My tyres were dead. They were on 74%. They were absolutely shocked, you know. The early boxing onto the mediums.
That was a very early one, wasn't it? And so that wasn't exactly Plan A for you tonight. Will you be making adjustments to your strategy for Thursday?
To be honest, the interweather didn't help. Again, same as last week. Mm-hmm. You know, the plan was not for inters, and straight away you find yourself sitting in P5 tonight or P7 like last week. And, you know, that wasn't the plan. You know, out and out pace. You know, Keza could have stuck it on pole tonight. I could have been in top 3 with the qualifying times that, you know, were capable. Mm. So, you know, that just threw it in the mix. And I just didn't feel that comfortable on, you know, the first few laps on the inters. But then it started to come to me. I felt much better on the mediums. I like the harder tyre. Mm-hmm. I do like the harder tyre.
Well, hey, and Simon, I have one more last question for you, mate. Who is your new setup provider?
Say that again.
Who is your new setup provider, mate?
These are me. These are actually ones that I've done. You know, like I say, I don't get much time to do it, but I've totally changed the stance of the setup, which I do. And it seems to be. I've always run higher rear wings, always. And then a lot higher suspension at the rear and roll bar at the rear. But I've altered it around, so I'm running higher front end, lower rear, stabilising the rear of the car more.
So did you run higher front wing here than a rear wing?
Yeah.
That's very tricky, mate. I
was running 10-8 wings.
Okay, yeah, that's quite. Yeah, I was running. 8,
it looks
9.
like you were struggling a little bit for top speed, but not a huge problem you felt for Imola.
To be honest, I could seriously notice it. You know, as soon as I dropped out of DRS, I was getting done sort of 3-4 attempts on the straight, and just trying to grab that back through the corners. You know, against drivers like Ivan and Ginger, just wasn't going to happen. You know, midfield battle, that would have worked. It was a very, very, very similar setup to last week. Just a couple of authorizations, you know, very small ones. Very similar setup.
Well, GG anyway. Another podium, and certainly one to put in the pocket. Looks like you know what to do and how to set up for Thursday. So hopefully our audience will tune in to see how the new setups work for you then. But congrats on another podium, Simon.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and looking forward to Thursday. Should be a good one. Got some high hopes for Thursday.
Good stuff. We've reached the end of the stream. Burmeister, have you enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed it, mate. Simon, mate, good night.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I enjoyed it, mate.
Excellent.
I don't know if you enjoyed it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I always do. I love watching racing cars. There's no better thing for me. But yeah, good to have you in the comms booth. Hopefully, we'll see you again sometime in F2 towards the end of the season, while Lightning is elsewhere. But from everyone at Invictus Racing League, make sure you tune in for the rest of the week. But thank you for tuning in up till now. Thanks for liking the video, subscribing to the channel. It really helps, and it's a big thank you to the efforts we all put on to provide you with entertainment. And from me, Webbo Red 5, that you can find on all over socials, pretty much at Webbo Red 5. That's it for tonight, and we will catch you on the next race day.